What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever.
Period.
I'm your host, Pharaoh.
Ooh, let them know.
Yeah, because the name say TRK. But you're at TRK,
The
and
reality kingdom, mama.
we're joined by our wonderful co-host Lee. Lee, TK is gone.
TK going, child. But other than that, it was a great episode. I really enjoyed myself.
Period.
I knew once Tuku lost immunity, he was going home because the name of the episode is Epic Boss Girl Move.
Yeah.
And that's what Sue did. An epic boss girl motherfucking
Period.
move. Put some respect on Sue's name.
Period. No, Sue ate that the fuck up. I love Sue real bad. Real bad. And honestly, going into the episode, I didn't want TK to go. But by the time the episode was to TK going, I was fine with TK going because he was acting a whole fool.
When I saw the edit, I was like, he is about to be that archetype that is too much in the forefront, the leader that people really don't vibe with. I got that immediately, which we'll talk about when we talk about the recap. But I'm not shocked that he went home. Not really.
Yeah, honestly, same.
I'm dead. Benny said, got hit by the tsunami. Period.
I like that one. Hold on. Let me pull up the images, y'all. Period.
What's happening?
Period. Hit the tribes because baby, it's too much. There's too many tribes. I gotta log in. Okay, boom. So we started off the episode, and y'all, girl, I was taken aback because last episode Gata went to tribal, and they're supposed to be the first tribe we see with the night vision goggles on. Where are they at? And that was not what happened. We started off at Lavo instead. And
I'm like, they lost the footages. You think they lost the footage?
I feel like it's giving. There's nothing you needed to see because I was thinking about it. I was like, what could have happened after tribal? And it's honestly, they all just didn't vote Andy. They all still don't care about Andy. Andy's probably like, thank you guys so much, and that was it. There's not much to talk about. John Lovett wasn't no shade. Wasn't no big move. So I was like, maybe they were just like, well, fuck it. Let's try something new. So they did. And we started off at Lavo instead.
Now, this was some crazy shit.
This was hilarious. So we start off immediately, and Rome has the key to his. He has the first idol, the one tribal idol, and he has the key to the box and all of that other stuff. And so we see that he decides to tell Teeny.
And I was like, Teeny must really be eating up this tribe because Teeny, out of all people, I thought he was going to say Genevieve.
Teeny? It made no sense. And then honestly, all this did was clarify. Like last episode, love Asia. It's my girl. But last episode, Teeny clearly was eating it up even more than we saw. Because what do you mean, tell Teeny? Very weird and confusing. And also, for lack of better words, not smart. I don't know what made him think to do that. He's clearly not thinking. And that's his issue in this moment, truly. So he tells Teeny, and Teeny, she's like, I'm gonna tell Kashan, which I was like, okay, cool. That's her closest ally. Tell Kashan.
Well, and this is where I had an issue. Because I thought she's supposed to be Teeny Welch. Why are you not telling Asia, Teeny?
Because she's Teeny. What's Teeny last name? Because she's playing for herself, mamas. Very clearly.
And I don't need that.
Very clear. And I don't need that either. That did surprise me. I thought she was gonna be a little bit more like with Asia, at least enough to actually tell Asia about it. But we didn't even see her tell Asia about it. She only told Kashan in this episode. And it's like Teeny Chirichilo, however you say her last name, is who this is. This isn't Teeny Welch just yet. So put a pin in that. But anyways,
because Asia took a back seat this episode.
Yeah,
I was like, but I know she better be still top priority, Teeny. Because Kashan, I was just gagged because I knew she created a relationship with him, but I just thought that the stronger bond was with Asia, and that's why I really hate Survivor editing. Because you really don't know until it happens.
Yeah.
Like we will never understand the social connections until the show wants us to understand them deeper. Because one episode we see one thing and the next episode is something totally different and they all targeted each other. So that's what I really hate about Survivor. I love it about Big Brother because it's like, it's 24/7. So we know in real time who's fucking with who and who likes who and who's gonna choose who. With Survivor, we have to like guess every episode because you never really know.
Mm-hmm. So she tells Kashan, and then she says, "Actually, I know exactly where it is. Let me show you." And she takes Kashan to the box, which was like, in the moment, I was like, "This is weird. Like, I've never seen this," and it was like questionable, but not like it. I didn't even have enough time to question it before Rome pulled up on their ass. Like, it was literally
like
so quick.
He would have got me scared. I would have been shook as fuck. I probably would have screamed a little bit, like, "Oh!"
Yeah, because he literally caught her red.
He would have caught me.
Her hand was literally red as fuck. Like, her whole body was red. She was literally caught in the act. Like, that's embarrassing. But my thing is, girl, it's the middle of the day. Or I guess it was the morning time, like fresh in the morning. But it's like the sun was out. Y'all were out in the open. Your bodies is all sticking out from the bushes. You could tell that it's y'all two over there. He knows exactly where he hit it. Like, you didn't even know where he was. Like, I don't know. That was just so sloppy. I was like, girl, what are you doing? That was weird. So Rome catches Teeny, and he's like, I don't know if I could trust her no more because what was that?
Right.
Like, literally, what was that? But he ends up having to read right in front of Teeny and Kashan the option to take another chance, another risk, and get a stronger idol, and he declines it. So he just has the one tribal idol.
Right. And it's like, y'all pussies, go for the second. Nah, I wouldn't do all of that either.
I feel like I would have went for the second one. Because if I already took the risk to go for the first one, I'd be like,
I would have been tired. I would have been like, I'm done. Y'all trying to have me do all of these. Because he already damn near ruined his game going for the first one. If he was trying to get all of them,
I honestly wouldn't want to be Wear Advantage. I would not want to be Wear Advantage. I think I would be like Andy, except not in a terrible position. If I was in Andy's position, I'm taking it. But if I was just like in a good position and I found the Wear Advantage, a part of me would be like, dang, who want this? Because I don't want it. Like, it's too much responsibility, and I'm not a responsible person.
Too much. Like, you risk a lot.
You risk a lot. It's too much responsibility and too much risk, and then I'm not responsible. Like, it just wouldn't work for not just me. I feel like there's a lot of people where the Beware Advantage isn't a good idea to go for. Rome probably shouldn't have went for it because he's probably not even going to use it, and he's probably going to go to fuck home. Literally. So we'll see.
No shame.
We hopped to Tuku. On the Tuku tribe, TK is TK. He's very, very, himself.
He was running shit. Like, when we first got to Tuku, there was some order in this bitch. He said, okay, we're going to be together.
Yep.
Okay.
Kyle's my number one.
Mm-hmm. And I thought we could work with Gabe, but that's probably not going to work. We're going to work with Tiana. We're going to pull Tiana in. I said, oh, he's working.
He was working. So that's what he does. He pulls Tiana in. Tiana's like, well, shit, let me work with the big dogs. This the numbers. And she's thinking in her mind that the boys are all kind of locked in. So I need to just get in where I fit in. So Tiana agrees to work with them and the boys. TK's like, really, it's me, you, and Kyle. And Gabe's on the bottom. And Tiana's like, well, shit, even better. And so we put a pin in that.
Right.
And
this just goes to show how quickly things change on Survivor, because at the beginning of this episode, I'm thinking, oh, they're a locked in 3. And by the end of it, Tiana is voting him out. So
literally,
things change very quickly in the Survivor house.
So we hop to Gata at the for the first time, even though we went to tribal. And we see Andy like cutting his coconut and them cheering him on.
Like, go, Andy! Because they know for a fact we gotta keep this man on his toes, because if not, he's gonna spiral. And I love Annika's face, because Annika was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it.
She's like, and they're, yeah!
And she's just sitting there.
And it's like, oh boy, please.
What she say? She said he gives toxic boyfriend.
She says he gives toxic, clingy. She says if you're on a dating app, it just gives toxic, clingy boyfriend. I feel like it gives very attentive, very, very sweet himbo vibes. Like, he gives, yes, he loves me. He's gonna choose
I feel
me.
Like she said, he needs words of affirmation. He needs to be reaffirmed a lot.
I'm gonna affirm my man.
But to spiral because you weren't getting cheers for a coconut. And the thing is, like, now them cheering someone like me, I would be like, this is not even real. Like, y'all.
It seemed like he was very pleased
because y'all wanted to keep me calm. Y'all not cheering because y'all actually cheering.
And he didn't even think that. I don't think, or we didn't see him say that. I think he felt genuinely excited. Like, yay, they're cheering for me. But that's why I would love Andy. I feel like in a relationship, Andy would just want me to cheer for him. And he would do everything I needed him to do and look good. That's all I need.
That's all you need.
That's literally all I need. I would swipe right. That's the thing. Annika, like, I don't know, girl, who you swiping on? Because it sounds like you want to swipe on somebody who not gonna love you, who gonna be out in the streets. Like, girl, I need you to swipe on somebody like that. You need to talk. Like, why wouldn't you want your man to be clingy? He don't need to clean nothing else.
But clingy can get annoying. That always up under you.
Be annoyed or get cheated on. Quick.
Neither.
And
I'd
you'll be
rather
single.
be alone.
And Annika probably alone too. And that's her problem.
And there's nothing wrong with being alone.
There ain't nothing wrong with being alone, queen. Love that for you, queen.
Relationship and be in some bullshit. Like, no, I don't want no man always up under me.
I don't want no man always up under me, but I want a man always. I literally do want a man always up under me.
No, girl,
at this moment,
like, at IRL, you will be very annoyed, and I know your ass would. You'll be annoyed.
No, up under me. On the bed, up under me. Like, I want a man up under me all the time. Like, I need to be on top of a man. Physically on top. Okay, but anyways. So, after this, Sam is on Andy duty, and he needs to babysit him. For lack of better words. Shit, he said the words. They literally said it. They said it. Why am I talking like that? But anyways, he has to babysit Andy, and he has to go pee. When you're babysitting, if I'm babysitting, and I gotta go pee, I gotta leave the door open, make sure they good, make sure I can hear them, make sure they're in order. You don't walk away from somebody you babysit. Like, he
left him completely alone.
Left him alone.
And didn't come back for a while because he was able to find a whole beware advantage.
Like, where was you at? Sam needed to actually be babysitting, and he wasn't. He thought this shit ain't sweet. So he left Andy. Andy left immediately and was like, let me find this advantage because
I don't. The way
I'm on the bottom.
Survivor is sick the way they edit Andy because it's always like existential crisis vibes. Like, it's them close up to his eyes, them darting back and forth. The music is always just
frantic.
Really frantic. I don't know. It's crazy.
Child. So Andy finds the beware advantage, and he in his mind is like, I want to do something different and like take some time to decide whether or not I want to take it. Big mistake. Mm-hmm. And like, it seemed like a good idea. Like, the concept of deciding whether or not to take a beware advantage in theory seems good. If you're not on the bottom, and if you don't know you're on the bottom, Andy knows he's on the bottom and knows he could have just went home last night, not even 24 hours ago, and he found a beware advantage and didn't take it. To me, that was crazy. Like, I don't know what that was. Take it. Like, you have nothing to lose. Even your vote. Your vote means nothing in this tribe. They're all working together. And you know it. They all just voted together. Like, I don't know. I just felt like it didn't make much sense to me. But I think later on we see he probably just feels like Sam actually is on his side. Which also doesn't make sense because why would Sam willingly work with you knowing the other three are all in this majority and you're on the outside and you have no ally? Like, why does he like, I don't know why he genuinely thinks in his mind.
Maybe he assumed with Sierra. Maybe like he got Sam and Sam has Sierra.
Maybe so.
Something like that would work, but we didn't see him have that thought process in the episode.
And even in that case, you would be able to get the beware advantage then because you have the majority. So it's like he probably didn't think that. I don't understand. We're gonna put a pin in it. we hop back to Lavo and we get Mother Asia narrating.
Period.
About Rome again. This is like the second time she's kind of done that.
Yeah, I don't want it to give Katura and Bruce. We don't need another Katura and Bruce edit. I don't want every single diary room that Asia get to be about motherfucking Rome. We get it. He's annoying. We don't need my sister only talking about that. Okay,
right?
So they better not do that because I hate it when Katura will only be speaking about Bruce. I know she's talking about other shit. Why are we only seeing the commentary about Bruce?
100%. So Rome wants to be. I don't even know what he wants to be. Like he main character so bad. Like in his mind, he's like Lara Croft in Tomb Raider. Like he is Laura because he's a video gamer. He like is the video game character. Like he's that in real life. And he kind of mentioned, like, in his interview, he's like, this is the ultimate game. Like, this is the ultimate video game. Like, I'm actually playing the game. Like, I am in the game. And it's like, a part of me feels like he wants to be Laura Croft the Tomb Raider. Like, for lack of better words, like, it is me. I'm the universe is me. I'm on the island. So here he is on the island wanting to do everything, including make the fire. Mm-hmm. And he said, yeah, at home, I made fire every day before I came here. Y'all didn't make fire every day before y'all came here? I don't know. I mean,
like, what, 30 seconds?
He said 16. He says, I got it down to 16 seconds, like, every time. It's like giving 16 seconds every time. So.
And then he went up there and tried to start the fire.
And it didn't happen.
It was past 16 seconds.
Nothing happened. Now, who was under 16 seconds was Kashawn.
Now, that would have been embarrassing because he really sat up there and wanted to make that fire first. And then Kashawn came up, well, I'll try it.
I'll try it. And then Kashawn got it on his first try. Well, from what we see, it damn near his first try. And it's like, whew, that was embarrassing. And then also super terrible for his edit. Not that his edit needed to
happening for Rome. Like, he got caught in the first episode. This episode, his whole idol got exposed by two people
right in front of his face.
And now this situation with the fire, it's just like it's like cringe moments. Like, every time it's something with Rome, I'm cringing so hard because I'm just like, oh my god! Like, the secondhand embarrassment is nasty.
Him and Andy are competing for most embarrassing contestant this season.
Yeah, honestly, but it's so good
sad.
TV.
Yeah, it is. And honestly, I like both of them. Like, I love their energy. I love how excited they are to be out there. Love all of that. I would prefer all of that over who the fuck is Genevieve, you know?
No shade.
No, that was shade. Oh. So we hop to the Gotta Tribe. We hop back to the Gotta Tribe. And Sam tells Annika, he's like, look, I was babysitting Andy. I came back. He was gone. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And they were like, he probably went to look for the idol. And Sam's like, he probably didn't find it though. And Annika was like, well, shit, let's go find it.
You gonna find it.
So they go, and they go find it. Sam finds it.
Was giving like good nasty duo a little bit, but clearly Sam was not.
So
Sam did not fuck with Annika like that.
He finds it with Annika, and he's like, shit. I low-key didn't want to find it with Annika because she probably gonna. He clearly doesn't trust her that much.
Right.
Which is very interesting. But he does trust Sierra. So after he finds it with Annika first, they find that they have to untie all these knots to get the key to the box, right? They don't have enough time, so they leave. Then he goes and tells Sierra, I found it with Annika. Fuck.
And in the preview for next episode, it's given that Sam and Sierra are going to get caught for a little showmance. Yeah. So is this showmance? Are y'all liking up on each other? What's this tea?
I don't love this duo. And I'll just leave it at that. Sierra and Sam, they're talking and they're basically like, Annika knows, didn't want her to know. Do you think Annika is going to tell Rachel? And Sierra's like, Annika's going to tell Rachel.
Yeah, and then they cut to the scene of Annika telling Rachel.
And they cut to the scene of Annika telling Rachel.
I really enjoy Annika and Rachel. I'm hoping that Annika and Rachel can kind of take the lead in this foursome. I agree. But it seems like Sam is the main character here. Like, he got a lot this episode, and he has like a lot of like power with this idol. So like, I'm just scared that Rachel and Annika could be on the outs because he does have Sierra and he also have Andy as two loyal soldiers. Yeah. So why does he need Rachel and Annika at this point?
And that's kind of what we get to at the end of the episode. And I think it's we'll get there. So
Trey says Sam just posted a proposal post with a different girl. Well, let's hope they're not a showmance because that would be crazy.
Or maybe it's short lived and one of them go home.
One of them go home. Yeah.
Sierra. So he tells Rachel because he knew Annika would tell Rachel, so he went and told Rachel so that Rachel thinks she could trust her.
I love this thinking. I like this thinking. He really thinks about all strategies. He's not one-track minded, which I feel like a lot of players, especially in his archetype, become one-track minded. Kind of similar to TK a little bit, like this alpha bro male, only want to work with the men. Like, I feel like he's really flexible in his strategy.
Yeah, I agree. Good. I like that a lot. At this moment, Andy has decided, you know what? I am going to get that beware advantage. So he goes back and he sees it's gone. And his first thought was, shit, I got to tell Sam that one of the girls found it. So that's what he does. He goes and tells Sam, he's like, one of the girls found the beware advantage.
He immediately think, oh, it got to be one of the girls. It could be any of them.
And it's like he trusted Sam that much. And it's like, that's so interesting. because I remember episode 1, he trusted Rachel or wanted to trust Rachel so much that like he just did trust Rachel so much. And it's like, I feel like it's giving that. It's like Sam give you an inch, and so you're taking a mile because all he did was talk to you like one time, and now you think, oh, you can trust him. And it's like, it's working out well for him because Sam thinks he can run Andy. But then again, it's like, is it because Sam can just run Andy? Right. And that's where it's becoming like, yikes. So that's where we're at with them.
Be a soldier, sir.
Like, I needed you to be your own
entity.
Maybe he'll grow. We hop to Tuku. At Tuku, TK is talking to his trio, Tiana and Kyle. Didn't seem discreet at all either, because Gabe is like right there on the beach, and they're in the water, and they're just like, yeah, it's either Sue or Caroline. Who we voting?
Yeah, who y'all want?
Who's it giving?
Sue or Caroline?
And he's like, I think it's giving Sue. I really think it's giving Sue. And basically, TK is telling them, it's not a conversation. It's more so him rhetorically asking who they're voting, and then saying, we're voting Sue. And then grabbing Gabe and being like, we're all voting Sue. And that's what it's going to be.
And Gabe clocks pretty quickly that he is on the bottom of this foursome. Like, he's just being brought in as a number. And I think that's kind of was TK's mistake. He was so forward thinking with creating this group, and he wasn't really thinking about necessarily how other people felt about it coming together. He was kind of just being like, okay, well, this is the 4, now we're all in it and we're going to work together. And it's like, I don't think he really tested the waters on if these people are working with other people, if they're not feeling it that much. Like, he was just going forward with what he wanted.
Yeah, completely disregarded anyone else's opinion, and like just fully felt like everything he was thinking is what should be done and what will be done, and then didn't consider any other option to ever occur. And it's like, that's why he went the fuck home. And it's like, that's so, honestly, it's like weird. It is weird. Like, I'm watching him in this game just only consider his own self and what his own self is doing. And it's like, girl, I need you to hopefully not be like this with social relationships in real life, because this was atrocious the way he handled this socially. This was absolutely atrocious. Super inconsiderate.
Yeah,
didn't give a damn.
What he said at the immunity. It's like, oh no.
Like, what? Didn't give a damn. And it sucks because I actually really liked TK. Like, last episode, I was like, fuck, I love him. In the interview, I loved him so much. His energy just seemed so wonderful and welcoming and brightening. But watching this episode, I was like, ew, like, just this damn speckle. Even this next scene, like, 4 of them were like, let's go take a nap at the beach. So they're all sleeping. Well, not all of them. Sue and Tiana are trying to sleep. And as they're trying to sleep, TK is like cackling and giggling next to Kyle right in front of them. And it's like, you know, they're sleeping. You don't care. And it's like,
about Godzilla and alligators.
Yelling. He's literally right next to them yelling. Like, you could go anywhere. But it's like, that's kind of the what we saw in the game as well. It's like, in this social situation, it's not even a social situation. It's just people sleeping next to you. You have no regard for what they're doing right in front of them. You don't care they're asleep. You don't care that you're loud. You're that nigga and you're going to do what you want to do. And it's like, that's how you acted in the game as well. So it's like, I really need him to think a little inward, because this was just atrocious. Like I said, every step of the way, I'm like, what are you doing? Please be considerate. If you watching this and you in real life have noticed that sometimes people be looking at you crazy because you be talking while they're trying to sleep, please look inward and consider, why the fuck are you talking while people are trying to sleep right in front of you? And is that disrespectful or is that not? And would you want somebody to be talking and yapping if you was trying to sleep? Because another thing is, we didn't get to see this, but if TK was sleeping and Sue was talking, he probably would have been mad too.
Right.
And tried to buck up as well. And it's like, that's the shit you do. But we gonna move. We gonna move. We head to God. Oh, in this moment, Tiana and Sue, they kind of do a little talk about it. And Tiana is like agreeing, like, that was disrespectful as fuck.
I was shocked here, because I was like, it just seemed so jarring. She was just getting brought into this group. She seemed down with it. She seemed happy to be included. And in this scene, she's like, I'm also annoyed by TK. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, he's gonna go home. It's gonna be over. It's gonna be over.
He's gonna go home. Because what was helping him was the structure he made. Right. Being active. Being active is very good. But the fact that his social ability was so bad that it turned Tiana off so much. There were so many times she had diary rooms trying to convince herself that she should make the strategic move rather than the more emotional move. And it's like, he kept, I feel like, pissing her off literally,
right,
to where it's like she couldn't even think strategic. She was like, fuck it, he gotta go. And it's like, well.
And did we skip over Gabe forming the alliance with Sue and Caroline?
Yes, that did happen. That happened right before this, right before the Sue and stuff happened. Because when he found out that he was on the bottom, or figured he was on the bottom, and they came to him about the vote, he's like, I'm not gonna do that vote because I'm about to work with Sue and Caroline. Sue and Caroline are gonna be
my wounded
easy.
birds.
They're my wounded bird alliance.
And this is why I said on the phone to Pharaoh, like, he is so Russell Hantz coded. Like, he really is. Because I feel like something that Russell always did was, like, he worked with specifically women, but the women in the minority, and tried to, like, unite them under him so that they could, like, move forward within the game, because he felt like, I can beat them at the end of the day. And it's like, Russell thought he could do that twice and lost twice. Okay, don't go to the end with Sue and Caroline and end up losing to Sue. Because that's what ended up happening, Gabe.
And Gabe mentioned Russell in his interview, like, about how he's underrated and he should have won both of those times. And it's like, whether you think he should have won or not, he didn't. And so you should be moving as if he didn't, because he didn't. But I think he's moving as if he should have. And he's kind of emulating a lot of not just this, but even the idol thing. That was very Russell Tony coded, and then this is very Russell coded, and I feel like he's emulating his game a little bit from that might be one of the seasons he really likes or something, but this not gonna work. And it didn't work with Russell because
depending on how savvy he is, if you could get him to the end of the game, because we saw it with Russell, but are you gonna win? And that's the issue, because when it comes to, we saw it this episode, it's all about relationships. Right after this, he's going to Caroline about the alliance, and Caroline's like, he's never talked to me, so right. I don't believe him. And it's like, you're going to lose. Because if you think you can just bring Sue and Caroline to the end and that's going to be your game, and I'm not going to have any relationships with anybody else. And not that he thinks that, but we were saying in episode 1, he's so busy doing all this other stuff, he's not even making alliances or friendships or anything with anyone. All he had was Sue, and then now this episode, all he has is Caroline, because he showed her the idol. He literally asked to be in an alliance, and she was like, I'm gonna have to think about it. And he was like, well, shit, let me show her the idol so she knows I'm serious, because she didn't believe him, because he never talks to her. You can't go through the game like that. Coming back, like her being like, I never really wanted to work with him in the first place, so
yeah,
it'll be easy to flip.
And then if they merge, he's the type of player that if you get to the end, you say the things you say about Russell. You never really got to know us. You don't really care about us. I don't even know who you are. You didn't speak to me. You only came to me about a vote. You only showed me your idol and thought that was enough. Like, even if he makes it to the end, he's gonna have to like change his game into a more social way, or it's not gonna work, because this is just very, very strategy.
TK kind of gave him that advice, like, you have to start talking more socially with people. Like, and that was some real advice that he was giving him.
Yep, very much so. So we'll see how it goes with Gabe. Then we head back to Gata, and we see Sam is with Sierra now, and they find the idol box. They already had the key, and they find the box to the idol, and he's like, I want to open this idol with Sierra. He had found the key with Rachel. Right. Well, he found the key with Annika, and then he grabbed the key and found the box with Rachel, and then with Sierra, he opened up the box.
Yeah. So like he really helped find it. Like, the girls helped find him. I can't even talk. He found this idol with all 3 of the girls. Like,
yes. He put them all to work. And he said he really wanted to do this so Sierra would feel this connection to him. And she really does. So much so that she says, look, wherever he's going with his alliances, I want to go. Even though I want to work with the girls, I don't care. If Sam's going with Andy, I'm going with Andy. So like, he got him a minion.
It's like 2. Because Andy going to be willing to do whatever, too.
He got him 2 minions. So that's what happened. Sam and Sierra find the idol, and he's like, I'm just gonna take the one tribal idol, which was interesting.
I was shocked. I thought he had enough power on the tribe to where it didn't matter. He could have went all the way to the one that lasted Final 5.
He should have. I 100% think he should have. He has way too much control. Like, for Rome, he just shouldn't have found it in the first place. He's just a terrible player. Gabe, I see why Gabe stopped at the 3, but for him, he really had the positioning to get a Final 5 idol with this. I feel like he kind of like was too gun shy. I feel like he should have went for it, but His game is pretty good.
And then
Might
he
not
says
matter.
he wants to play it on Andy. Benny asked in the chat, why did Sam want to play it on him?
That was way too much.
Interesting thinking.
Way too much, because immediately he says, okay, I don't want to work with those girls. I want to work with Andy. Sierra doesn't even agree. She says in the diary room she doesn't even agree, but I'm going to go with it anyways. And then he says he wants to use his idol on Andy to do that. I think all of that is stupid. I feel like, sure, don't go with just the girls and be on the bottom. I understand. First of all, you wouldn't be on the bottom because you and Sierra are a duo. She's going to choose you over them. But I still understand Annika and Rachel are bigger threats to him than Andy. Andy shouldn't go. Right. But all you have to do is just, you already have the votes. Andy and Sierra are voting with you. It's 5 people in the tribal. You have the votes. Just tell Rachel, we all got to vote Annika. She can't do shit. There's nothing she could do. There's nothing you got to do. You don't have to waste your idol. You don't have to use your idol on Andy. You don't have to blindside them at all. Just tell Rachel we're all voting Annika. It's really that simple. When you have the strategic control, you don't have to overcomplicate things. And I feel like he's already overcomplicating this situation, because why would you use your idol on Andy just to piss them off more? Because now you're blindsided Rachel and Annika. One of them staying
with an idol that they know you have.
With an idol, you just stood. They know you have it. You're standing up, using it on Andy in front of all of them, knowing Rachel just voted to evict him. She's gonna stay and be like, "I'm never working with you." And actually, if we merge together, I'm gonna get you out. It's all stupid. I don't think it's a good idea. He should just. Hopefully, they just don't go to tribal, or he changes his mind on that plan, because that's a bad plan. Period. So
flip Rachel. Honestly, I can see Rachel flipping on Annika.
Period.
Like if Sierra, Sam, and Andy say, "Look, girl, we vote down Annika."
Yeah.
Rachel gonna be like, "Okay."
Yeah. Literally. It's literally so simple. Ryan says, "Shout out to Ryan. Thank you.
You make it rain, Ryan."
Keyshawn is my new baby daddy now that TK got KO'd out. Keyshawn is crazy, but literally, I was talking about Keyshawn's name on the phone. I was like, it's not Keyshawn. Why am I saying Keyshawn? Whatever you say his name. I was like, damn, Keyshawn name a little, he could be one of us. But anyways, what y'all bring to the baby reveal is crazy. Why are you doing this?
Oh, I just realized he's talking about Keyshawn.
Keyshawn, baby. Oh, Lord. So we head to the immunity challenge. And this is a new one. Is it new?
I haven't seen this before.
Yeah, this is a new one, because they have to go and retrieve a bag of rice from the ocean, bring it back through this obstacle course, cut it open, get out a ball, put the ball on this snake trail with a bunch of holes in it, and you and 2 other people, so 3 people have to navigate it through the maze without dropping it in the hole and get in the hole last.
I find interesting, like the fact that there's 3 people navigating the ball instead of like 2 or 1. Yeah, that puts a lot of more people at stake, like at helping the challenge.
I agree. I really liked that, and a part of me, I get why it only has to be like a certain amount of people on the puzzle, but I love that this was 3 on this one, because when it's just 2 people, part of me is like, I wish a little bit more people were involved. I don't know. So I like that it was 3 people. I really, really did. They should have did a 4 one. 4 strings, bitch. Make it real hard.
The whole tribe got to do it.
The whole tribe. Like, let's get into that. So that was really fun. Love this challenge. During the challenge, the rice bag is open. It's cut open, and Rachel is grabbing the rice and putting it in her pocket. Rachel.
Like, I love an innovator. And I hated how she got punished for doing this, because it's like, my thing is, this is Survivor. Like, you talk about how people need to like forge,
be
their
innovative,
own paths and
game changers,
create their own community, be a game changer, do things that's outside of the box. And she's punished for taking rice in the game, where it's like y'all are literally starving, and then like other than that, y'all are throwing the rice away. Yeah, literally the rice is going to waste. There are people starving in Fiji, and y'all are just throwing rice away on the challenge. Mm-hmm. Let the people have that rice. Like the fully make her throw the rice out, I think was crazy.
Yeah, it's it's giving. We give y'all a certain amount of scoops at the beginning, because this is the harder version of Survivor, so no other tribe can have any more, and da 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 da. I guess it's just like since it wasn't clear that was for the rule, well, it was clearly against the rules, but since it wasn't for the rules and everyone didn't know they could do that, it wouldn't be fair to let Rachel do that, because the other tribes probably just if they would have known. Like, if she would have took that home, they would have been like, well, shit, if we would have known we could do that without getting reprimanded, we would have did that too. Like, that's some bullshit. So,
well, you're not a game changer like Rachel. That's
you're not a game changer like Rachel. Child. But it was against the rules, I guess, because he made her empty her pockets. So, Gata wins, and Lavo gets second place, and Tuku is going to tribal council.
I'm happy because Lavo is eating it up. They're going on their immunity run. Lavo has tribe without a loss right now.
They're eating it up. So, we head back to the tribe. Oh, before that, Jeff questions them on the map, and he's talking to. First, he tells Rachel to empty her pockets. Then he's talking to Tuku tribe, and he's like, so Tiana, I see a lot of smiles. What's going on? And Tiana's like, look, they're fake. But we got to fake a smile because we have to stay positive. We can't just keep losing over and over again. And Jeff was like, TK, how you feeling? TK was like, look, honestly, I'm pissed off because it's too much smiling going on. If we just lost, like, what are we happy for? Why are we smiling? I don't understand why everybody's so happy that we lost. Not that we lost. I don't get it. And Tiana's like rolling her eyes. She's making a lot of faces. She's feeling really disgusted. And honestly, it's like, it was just super negative. Like, I understand you're a competitive person, but Tiana's also a competitive person. Sue's also a competitive person. They're not just on Survivor just for the gags. So it's understood that we want to win the next time, but you being annoyed that we lost this time isn't going to help us win the next time. If anything, it would be better if you were positive. That's the whole point.
How do you not have the self-awareness to know that this was going to be perceived in a negative way? You're literally upset and mad that y'all lost. Like, you can't be a poor sport in that way, especially when there are people on the tribe trying to stay positive. Like, being positive is the best thing right now. Y'all just lost and have to send someone home. Someone's gonna go home, and it was you.
And then you're mad at their positivity for it. Like, I get being upset about the challenge. That's reasonable. Everyone can get upset. Like, he was just like, honestly, I'm just sad we lost. That's it. That would have been fine. He went on a whole ramble about how he doesn't understand why we're smiling and why we're not acting more concerned, and y'all just seem a little too calm. Just say your feelings. I'm upset we lost, but let's move forward, and then move forward. Instead, you went on a rant about your tribe mates, essentially, and then they all are like, he's talking about us. We know you're talking about us. You basically just sat in our face, said we're all fucking losers, and you're the winner, and that's it. And it's like, you can't do that. You really, really can't do that. You really, really can't do that. Shout out to Monica.
Period. Make it rain.
Period. Monica says Gabe voted out TK and kept Sue. Their tribe will be picked off. He helped that woman out. Women outnumber the men. Made Kyle not trust him. He will be gone soon. You know what? I got thoughts on this vote decision. I do have thoughts on this vote decision. So let's get there. They get back to the tribe, and Gabe saw that Tiana wasn't vibing with TK. Sue saw that Tiana wasn't vibing with TK. So they want to kind of try to go that route. We see Tiana and Kyle are ranting about the way TK responded. Tiana's trying to let out her energy. TK walks up and he's like,
y'all talking about me? And
they're like, no.
Hey, with your chest. That's what the fuck you was doing.
Because y'all was talking about him and y'all got caught, okay? Kyle goes, pulls TK to the side, and he's like, and honestly, I liked this from Kyle. Very little. It's not nothing big, but it was more than I ever thought he would ever do in the history of Survivor, and that's never no shade. I didn't even think he would do something like this. But Kyle goes to TK, and he's like, look, we need Tiana. You need to I would suggest you just apologize for what you said, because she wasn't vibing with that. TK, Tiana, and Kyle all talk. TK apologizes to Tiana. They hug it out, and Tiana's like, look, I got to put my emotions to the side, and I might just need to go ahead and stick to the strategy part of the game. And it's
which I don't necessarily agree with. Like, if you're not vibing with someone emotionally, you probably don't need to be working with them strategically either.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
You can use certain people, but don't try to go. If you feel like you cannot work with this man, I don't think you should go out of your way to try to make it work.
I do agree with that.
Especially,
I feel like
you don't need him in this scenario.
Yeah, I do agree. And I also feel like it's the type of person you are. TK would have annoyed me as well, but not to the extent of me literally physically rolling my eyes and physically uncomfortable and physically can't be around him, and I have to go back to camp and rant to him. Since Tiana is that type of person where she responds in that type of way, working with TK was never going to be successful. So I don't think she should just go with what she's feeling, because her feelings are very strong. There's probably other people who annoy her, just not to that level. If he's annoying you to that extreme, he got to go. I do think there's parts where you have to work with someone who isn't your favorite person, but this wasn't one of those moments necessarily. So after they kind of reconcile, Tiana's kind of more back in the middle, but then Gabe, Sue, and Caroline, they agree they all will go to Rocks if they need to, and the three of them need to just period. If the three of them just need to lock in, they're going to go to Rocks and they're going to move forward. Sue is like, well, shit, let me at least go talk to Tiana. And
a worker.
An active player. And she lets us know that in Tiana's mind, she doesn't know me, Caroline, and Gabe are all together. She doesn't really need to know that. So she's like, I just need Tiana's vote. So she's talking to Tiana. She's like, look, the girls can kind of stick together. It can be the girls thing. It can be us three girls. And, you know, we don't know how those guys are going to vote. But if we all stick to it, I'm willing to go to Rocks, etc., etc. And it's like super interesting way to go about it. Because they could have just went to her and said, we got all three of the votes, vote with us. We won. But instead, Sue's kind of taking this approach of preventing her from knowing their real alliance, which I really like.
Mm-hmm. And it probably helped Tiana vote with them. So that's what's so impressive, because like Gabe, he like I think started the idea of pulling in Tiana to vote out TK a little bit, but he kind of took the back seat. And I feel like, at least for the edit, we saw Sue really take charge by having this conversation with Tiana, because Gabe didn't do that. And I feel like this conversation was the only way Tiana would even let in on some type of plan to take TK out. They were just going to go to Rocks. And it's like, you don't know if going to Rocks would have been successful at all. Tiana could have stuck to her guns, and then one of y'all could have went home. So I really like that Sue took the initiative to talk to Tiana and really get that vote, because it worked. She didn't want to work with TK. She wanted to work with anyone else, and that's what she did.
I agree. So boom, they go to tribal council. During tribal council, Sue talks about how the boys kind of did bond and they did kind of just talk to each other. And TK responds and he's like, well, how many people did you actually go out of your way to talk to? Because the way the game works is that you have to go out of your way to talk to other people and initiate conversations. You can't just not initiate any of the conversations. And it's like, why are you so on go?
Right. And then he's like, how many people have spoken to Sue personally within the last few days? And it's like, several people, actually.
Not you.
She's like, have you?
Second boot.
And it's like, no, he hasn't. So he just assumed everyone else did it. And it's like, you can't just assume things.
Very much so in his own world. It was so insane. So they get to the voting booth. At the voting booth, Tiana's like, look, my instincts is never wrong. Let me go with my instincts. And we see that she voted with the other three to vote out TK. He goes home. Kyle is a little shocked. And Gabe
plays his idol. Which is like, and then he played it on himself. He didn't even play it on Sue. He played it on himself. He got 0 votes. It's like, what was the point
was that?
Wasting so much social capital to be looking for this idol? Then to not just stop at the first one, you go get the second one that lasts for 3 tribals.
Yep.
And you use it on the first one where you were getting no votes. And you don't even use it on the right person. He could have at least used it on Sue.
At least use it on Sue.
But Sue didn't even go home because she's that girl.
That was very weird. I just felt like maybe he was concerned about he was actually concerned when he got to tribal. He got scared. I don't know. That was just very weird for me. Didn't understand it, but better than going home with Idol, I guess. So that was weird. Now, when it comes to the decisions that the people made about the vote, Gabe, I'm okay with his position because he's forging his own path. He did create a new alliance with Sue and Caroline. I do think they'll be loyal to him in the short term. My issue is I think the more long-term loyal people were people like Kyle, TK, and even Tiana. In my opinion, Sue and Caroline seem way more self-interested.
Yeah.
Than the other trio. It's kind of like you kind of want to go with the dumb jocks. You kind of do want to go with the dumb jocks because at the end of the day, you are going to be smart enough to turn on them before they're smart enough to turn on you, or they'll just go before. TK would have went before Gabe, and Gabe is a very big character. And the only other bigger character than him is TK. So TK going here, when he gets to merge, Gabe is going to be blaring in their face. So a part of me feels like for the long term, Gabe probably should have went with this other situation and just kept one of Sue or Caroline in the back pocket and da 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 da. I don't think he's in a weird position, but for the type of game I know he's probably going to play and he knows he wants to play, TK would have been a better buffer in merge than anybody else here.
But I think I like the thing he wanted most was the power. Like, you know, by doing this move, he was put to the top of the tribe. And I don't think that Sue and Caroline would choose Tiana over him. I think they would stay loyal to Gabe. It's just, will they be able to win competitions without TK? I don't know. I mean, Sue, Caroline, and Gabe could be literally the last three. And he also shows that maybe he's not potentially thinking clearly because he did use that idol. I don't know if there was some strategy behind that, but I didn't really understand it. So it's just like I can definitely see him being a big target and him not doing the correct things to mitigate that. And like you said, TK will be a good buffer in front of him. But I also understand you don't want to be a bottom. You don't want to be the bottom of this structure that you're not the head of. Because he could have easily got picked off as well.
And that's the issue. I feel like he does want to be at the top, but being at the top in Survivor New Era is terrible. You shouldn't want to be at the top. You don't likely win. You likely get targeted. You likely get cut off. You want to seem as secondary or, secondary or under them. You don't want to be seen as the big glaring leader. And when they merge, that's how he's going to be seen. So short term, I think it made sense. Short term, long term, I'm just like, I don't know if this was the right thing.
Oh, the chat is saying that he used it in case it went to rocks. I guess that makes sense.
Oh, okay. That does make more sense.
They still had the votes. It's like I feel like he just didn't need to use it.
But he didn't talk to Tiana because he didn't talk to Tiana. Sue
a little too trigger happy. Like
it did. He like just assumed they would go to rocks, and as assurance, he used it. So that makes a lot more sense. I'll take it, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Conflicted on the decision. We'll see where his fate lies. If he ends up going home, at merge. Then I'm gonna be like, well, shit.
Kyle, did they even make it to merge? Because TK was a big asset. I kind of
that too.
I agree with that part. What Monica said, like, I can see this tribe losing again.
Yeah, sure. that as well. So I feel like there were a few reasons he could have maybe moved a little differently. And then I kind of have thoughts on Tiana deciding to do it as well. Like at the end of the day,
to the bottom.
At the end of the day, you flipped to the bottom. You were TK's number 2. Like you weren't even the bottom of this alliance. Gabe was on the bottom of this side. You were number 3. No, you were number 4. And then from what we saw in the edit, she didn't know they had the votes. From what we saw in the edit, she went up to the table and said, "Dang, I gotta trust my gut," and just went with it. And it's like you didn't even know there was 4 votes on him. From all we saw, you only thought it was Caroline, Sue, and yourself. Which means, what was you finna do? Tie the vote unknowingly. So it's
her
like
instincts are never wrong.
Her instincts are never wrong. She did eat that up. But it's like also you don't even know there's a whole alliance going on without you in it because they didn't tell you about it. And now there's a whole 3-person alliance, Kyle and you. Good luck. So I don't know. Didn't love the decision. In a way, you put yourself from the top 3 in the tribe to the bottom 2 in the tribe. But it could work out for her. I could see the girls thing being a thing because even when Monica said like Caroline and Sue, I don't think will turn on Gabe. But if Kyle goes home and TK goes home and now it's the rest of us, Caroline doesn't like Gabe. She said it to us, to the diary room, damn near to him. So if they do get down to it's only 4 of them left, Gabe done played an idol, find an idol. He done ran these last 2 votes. And then it's the 3 girls sitting there. They could just be like, we finna merge. Let's vote out Gabe. And Tiana's social game, I think, will help influence that as well. So versus Gabe. So she could be fine. I don't know. Actually, let's get into these tiers. John went home. He's not on the list no more, y'all. Bye. At the bottom, let's just go bottom to top. Oh, yes. Bottom to top. At the bottom, we had Andy as a chop. Should Andy move up or should he stay at chop?
I think he should stay at Chop.
Because he found the advantage and he didn't take it.
And then he didn't take it, but also he's still very much at the bottom for right now. Yeah. And like I just think like even if he becomes a minion of Sam and like he stays safe for like a round or two, it's like like he got into the Chop category and he's gonna have to work to get out of it
hard. Shout out to HFG. Thank you so much, HFG.
Period, HFG. Make it rain.
HFG also said TK buried himself, unfortunately. His social game needs major work. Girl. Yes.
That's a spill.
Rome. Chat. Why did we not have Rome at Chop last episode again?
You think we should move him to Chop?
Well, 1000%. I don't even know why he was in the Chop. I'm actually confused what we were thinking.
I don't really know either now that I'm thinking about it, but it gotta be a Chop because he got caught up with this idol situation. He's the biggest star on his tribe, and they keep saying that they don't want to take him out or they're nervous about targeting him because he has the idol. But honestly, I think they could get him out with the idol.
Yeah, I agree. That's the only thing I hate to say. That's the only thing keeping him above Andy for me. Is the fact that he actually has the idol. Because if he didn't, I wouldn't love him. Like, at least Andy's Sam's minion. What are you? Nothing. Next is Genevieve. No thoughts.
No thoughts. We really don't get anything for Genevieve. Like, I have to say Child because Child, I don't know her.
Next. Is Annika, who Sam doesn't like.
Mm-hmm. Sam doesn't like. Andy doesn't really vibe with. Sierra will choose Sam and Andy proxy over the girls. So I don't think that's good for Annika. I would bring her to Child, but their tribe won immunity this round, and I think she's good as long as they keep winning.
Mm-hmm. Next is Kyle. That's a Child. You just got blindsided. You were on the bottom of the vote. You got blindsided, and you're not in the majority alliance. Mm-hmm. And you don't have any relationships with any of them, really. Might be below Genevieve, but I don't know her.
Yeah. Oh, and that's true, Ryder. Because I was like, they probably can get Rome out with the idol, and it says the idol only use one round.
Oh yeah, he's gonna use it.
That's true.
He's going to just use it.
Yeah, so I guess he is gonna last at least one round. For some reason, I can still see him going. I don't know why. I don't know why.
They say Chop for Kyle. I don't have enough thoughts.
I mean,
I would just say
got flipped on. Yeah. But I'm fine with Child for now. Me only too. Because we didn't get much of negative about Kyle. It was really the alliance that failed.
I agree. I don't think he did anything wrong. That's the thing. Chop is, you're doing a bunch of shit wrong. I don't think Kyle did anything wrong. He even tried to keep his alliance together. So I'm just going to do Child and just move forward. Tiana. I don't
know because she's at the bottom.
Yeah.
She made this huge move, but that's really on Sue, Gabe, and Caroline. It was Tiana's vote that helped make it happen, but like it's not putting her in the prime position. At least right now, it's not. Yeah. So I feel like I would keep her in mid.
Me too. Same thoughts. TK, Chop.
It gotta be Chop. I mean, the social awareness was on 0 this episode. He got sent home by a big girl boss move. And it could have been avoided if he just wasn't so the way he was. Especially, like, literally, if that moment didn't happen at immunity, he probably doesn't go home this episode. Yeah. Where he, like, I don't know why people smiling. Let people smile, TK.
Yeah. You did everything wrong. He got himself out. He buried himself, like someone said. Like, you were in a good position. You did play fine. And then you did everything to make sure you went home. Crazy. Caroline.
I mean, she's on the right side of this majority. Yeah, she's in the majority. She's on the right side of this vote. But I just feel like
she's just not camper mother. So she can't go to camper mother.
That's how I feel right now. Like, she's not really gagging me right now.
Mm-hmm. Same. I think she's top of mid, probably. Or
okay, so you want to move her to there?
I'm gonna just leave her here until we go through the rest of them. Gabe. I don't know.
Gabe is a hard one. Because he also was on the right side of this vote. And I feel like he was more dynamic than Caroline a little bit, especially with the type of gameplay. Like, he's the one who created this group, and it helped grab Tiana's vote because of Sue. So I feel like I want to give him some credit because of that. But I also hate that he used the idol because because that could have lasted. That could have worked for like 1 or 2 more rounds for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I just don't know about his long-term safety.
That's what it is. Long term. His short term is I think short term is great. I think his long term is not even great. I think his short term is good, and his long term is terrible in my eyes. So I want to say he's a camp type of character, but I don't want to put him higher than mid because of my fear of his future. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just gonna keep him right here. What you think?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, boom. Saul. Who?
I feel like Saul could move the child. Just
he got to be by Genevieve because I don't know who you are.
Like Saul not giving us anything.
Yeah, I literally don't know who you are. Yeah, I mean, I guess Kyle could be under them because at least we know they're not at the. We don't know what they're at. At least we know he's at the bottom. We don't know.
But I can easily see, like, for example, if they're not taking out Rome first because he has the idol, Saul can just go.
Yeah, or Genevieve.
So yeah.
Girl, Sierra, this B is automatic. She's in a good position because she's Sam's understudy. Big Quam, Sam's understudy.
It reminds me of Caroline. It's like, you're not a camper mother yet. You're not that rural yet. Like, you helped find this idol, but so did Annika and Rachel a little bit. Yeah. And I do think that she'll end up in the majority, but they haven't really lost yet to like prove that.
Yeah, so. I think she's probably in a really good position. I think the girls will want to work with her, and I think Sam wants to work with her. But like you said, we haven't been proven that. And then she's not her own person enough for me to even want to put her above like a Gabe, because it's like she just seems so incontingent to what Sam wants to do. Even her saying, "I'll work with Andy even though I don't like him," because Sam wants to. Like that makes me feel like
so maybe like above Tiana.
Yeah. That's where I'm giving. Next, Kashan. I actually like Kashan, but I don't know enough about that dynamic of that tribe at all to really understand. He was immediately told by Teenie about Rome's idol. Teenie clearly has a lot of social control in that tribe because Rome told her about the idol. Kashan really likes her. Asia and her have a thing we saw. And I think Kashan's in a very good position to where it's like, I don't see him getting voted out at all. Even if they want to target, even if Rome is mad at Teenie, Rome's more mad at Teenie than he is at Kashan. He didn't say anything about Kashan. So I like that, but he's not camp.
Yeah. There's a lot of mid people this season. Like, even though I really like this cast, it's like I can't really definitively put them somewhere because I'm like, we haven't gotten enough yet, and I don't really know where this position is going to go for Kashan.
He's this tribe, Sierra and Caroline. I feel like he's just like an understudy. No shade, for lack of a better word.
Oh, no.
For lack of a better word. Next is Rachel. What's going on, Lee? Girl, why is Lee gone? Well, next is Rachel. For me, this episode was really low for Rachel because I didn't see her at all. She's tied to Annika. And then in a way, she seems less active because with the situation with Sam finding his idol, Annika was so much around. And Sam had so many combos with Annika that Annika was included in that. And she had to tell Rachel. And Rachel got told by proxy of knowing Annika. But I feel like if someone gets targeted, it will be an Annika before her. So I think she's a little bit more safe than Annika. But I don't know much about her positioning that much.
I feel like knowing that Sierra, Gabe, and Andy have this potential 3, that scares me for Rachel. I think she's smart enough and their tribe is well-rounded enough that maybe she could stay long enough to go to merge, and it's a whole different game for her. Mm-hmm. But if they lose again, I could easily see that threesome taking out Annika, and then she's on the bottom.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't feel too comfortable about her. I want to put her like by Tiana. Like you're like not in that good a position. I would put her just right above Annika or something like that. That area. Now we're at the camps. Sue.
Mother. I'm sorry.
Go ahead and do it. All right.
I think Sue should be a mother. I like the active
my
work
mother.
that she did. I liked a lot of her confessionals. Like she mentioned in one talk with Tiana that I don't know if Tiana is actually down with this plan or if she's just telling me that. So I want to make her feel comfortable. And that kind of led to the conversation later in the episode where she's saying it could be us girls and we can work together. I feel like it was a lot of Sue's social game that helped flip Tiana in this vote. So definitely mother for Sue.
I agree. Mother for Sue. Sam, I want to say his mother as well. I'm not even gonna lie.
I mean, definitely giving main character. He's at the top of his tribe. He has the idol now. It seems like all of the girls are very loyal to him, and he has this in with Sierra. She's gonna choose him over the girls, and he has Andy. So I feel like he is really well connected, and I think he's gonna be at the head of this tribe.
I agree with everything you said. No thoughts. Teeny, she got to go down because.
How you get to the top of her trial? Oh, because she got
caught. So this episode, you can't get
the wrong thing. It's like, girl,
you just can't be getting caught up like that. So I gotta give her. She on punishment. I'm gonna put her in camp this episode.
I don't think she should be brought to camp.
You don't think she should be brought to camp for getting caught up, showing somebody else idol?
I just feel like it was Rome. So it's like Rome is.
It was Rome, but it's like that's showing on her
I'm
end.
thinking of her tribe. Like she has Asia, she has Saul.
She's good. She's Gucci.
This is just being mother.
This is her slap on the wrist. But I'll put her at the bottom of mother because I didn't like that. How are you getting caught up? What are you doing? Asia's not moving. So which I want to say?
Not moving. This is her category. We didn't get much aid from Asia this episode, and I hated that she wasn't included with that idol thing. But she gonna stay in mother. This is her category.
Yeah, Asia's not moving, but if she was moving, I would put her in camp. But I'm gonna just say she's not moving and move forward. Boom! Here it is. Looks good. No camps is crazy. Should be teeny, but we'll let it slide.
I don't agree at all.
I know that's right. I love teeny. Teeny's good. So look at these drafts, y'all. Well,
child,
we know I have the winner, so I'm
winning
always
again.
good.
And
how are you winning, but Asia winning?
Oh, I guess you got Asia.
Oh, okay. You better calm it down with that one.
I forgot for a second, but I mean, you losing real bad already. 2 outs.
Yeah,
it's not looking the best for Genevieve. And
I don't know who Genevieve or Kyle is. I guess the other 5. I'm gonna just put my hope on the other 5: Asia, Rachel, Teeny, Kanshawn, and Gabe. I guess.
Now, I do have a lot of people that's just gonna end up going.
You got chops on chops because Rome is a chop, Andy is a chop. Saw who, but honestly, I see Sierra, Caroline, Sam, Tiana, Sue, and Annika. I think is gonna go home. So you kind of have a good 5 as well. I feel with Sam, Tiana, Sue, Sierra, Caroline. That's a good 5 that I feel like could easily make it towards the end game. Ooh, Lee got some hitters, but Asia's winning.
Period.
Lee got some hitters, but Asia's winning. Okay. So, boom. Tune in next week, right after the episode on Wednesday. We will be back to talk the next episode of Survivor. We will be here tomorrow and every Thursday to talk the challenge. So definitely check out the challenge. And then every Tuesday and Thursday, of course, we're doing our Big Brother coverage. So check out our Big Brother coverage every Tuesday and Thursday as well. And thank you for keeping it real with the kingdom, bitch.
We're out.
We're out.